The following is a conversation between Alisha and Aarti, facilitators of the Moon Course in northern BC, Canada, discussing our inspiration, intentions, and the blessing of the forest that this retreat is held in.
I think I would like to expand upon the fact that I think the two of us together are very complementary energies. Like, I think that that's a huge thing in it, you know? And like, tell me if you don't see it this way, but I do feel that I have a little bit more of the Shiva energy and you have more of the Shakti energy, and I have more experience with the Shiva and you have more experience with the Shakti. So if I was to do this course by myself, it would be seriously lacking the feminine energy. And I feel if you were to be doing this course by yourself, it might seriously be lacking the masculine energy.
Yeah.
So together, we're really able to create a whole course here rather than one that might be side of things or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And we have, even like our perspectives are a little bit different. But I think we give a lot of room to each other for that, and it's okay.
Yeah.
We're not like trying to force one person to buy into the other's perspective. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah, both are in the realm of God, so what does it really matter? Yeah, that's working for you, this is working for me, and then this is,
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm so happy to do this with you. You have no idea. Like, I have always felt something really special with you.
Me too.
So, and it's like beyond words. I don't know where it comes from, but yeah, I'm just going with it and trusting it.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I think it's also really beautiful that this actually blossomed out of the Ganga.
I know.
That's really magical. And so that would be something to share with everybody.
Yeah, like the main thing I remember from that moment is just sitting with our yonis in the Ganga and being like, here we go. Now what? Yeah,
and also
good. It felt some seeds were planted in that moment. It was.
I really feel we received her darshan to go ahead and do this work. Like, I felt, I can feel chills again now, but even in that moment as we were talking, it felt as though the universe was stopping, you know, that something very beautiful time was standing still as we discussed this.
I got you too.
Yeah, and speaking from very different perspectives and yet fully understanding and resonating with one another.
Yeah, it felt like, if I were to just talk about only the feeling sense and like nothing logical or rational, it literally felt like a culmination of something over like lifetimes.
Yes.
And like a meeting point. Like we have a date set in the future. We're gonna meet with our yogis in the Ganga. We're gonna talk about this course, and we're gonna like start it from there. And
we're gonna spread some work for people. Some much needed work, I think. I feel what a lot of women's groups are lacking today is this other side of things, in that like sometimes it can be just about being sexy or just about being a goddess, and this isn't even necessarily the masculine aspect of things, but there is a humanness to being a woman that is often forgot and rejected almost in this pursuit of being divine. And there's something divine in being human as well. There's this, I think you shared it possibly in one of our women's groups, but there's this beautiful image of Mother Mary in the barn, and she's giving birth to Jesus. And it's not the beautiful after photo with her all in white holding the baby, but it's her screaming, sweating, messy haired,
covered in blood.
That's the divine act right there. You know? That's the sanctity, and that's what I sometimes feel is missing in these women's groups, is we have to put on our makeup and get our flowy dress on, but there's something so beautiful and raw and being in nature is where I feel it personally the most.
I totally agree. And like, I think for me, the word that comes to mind when I think about this retreat is freedom. I just feel like it's going to be such an opportunity for not only me, but for a group of women to like just dive back into that wild freedom that it really gets squelched out. I mean, I'm here living in LA, and there's just societal rules, like kind of there's stuff around, you know, you feel it even if you're not conscious, like, or fully aware that you're feeling it. Like it affects your consciousness and how you behave and what you wear and what you say and what you do. And being in that wild, untamed nature that's not manicured, that's not organized, like this tree goes there, and that it's like a wild forest, nature at her finest, and as she wants to be and behave. I think it will help us and this group of women also to just go back into that place inside of us that like doesn't care and really doesn't, just wants to go free, like just go totally wild in whichever way we want to express, you know.
Yeah, I like that you also said that it will be not only healing for the people who attend the group, but also for you yourself.
Yeah.
Like there's no false I don't know, prestigiousness here. There's a genuity in that we are also human. We are also learning. We also like to get back to our natural way of being. And to me, that's a more quote unquote feminine way of unfolding in this group, in that we're in a circle and we're all teachers and we're all students bringing something into this circle. It's important for any leader, and I mean this is a spiritual leadership training as well as a retreat, but to always recognize that the learning doesn't stop. As soon as we're standing in a place that we think we've figured it all out, then we're in a very dangerous place.
Oh yeah. You and I have both seen that a lot in the past, that like that's a huge ego trap, ego trap that's so easy to fall into and just stay there.
But it's also, sorry, go ahead.
Please, you.
I was just going to say, it also goes back to what you were saying about how even though we may not be consciously aware of it, we're all experiencing it, in that we, from social media, for example, or how we're supposed to sell these kinds of courses, we're supposed to sell them as people who have it all figured out, people who are beautiful as soon as they wake up out of bed, people who never have a hard day. And I would like to feel that this retreat in training is one of many that are starting to step forward and say, no, we won't be sold that way, because we don't want to be that way. And we don't buy that people are that way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. More honesty. And also permission to kind of land wherever you are on that scale. Like some days you might wake up and just be like, yeah, I feel like total shit today and I don't want to, you know, and then another day you enjoy like putting the makeup, and it's about more like the freedom of choice to express what's real and what's authentic. There's like I have a big trust in the forest and in the ashram that you and Thomas have built, that's, and in you, honestly, also a lot. Like I know that you want this too, and that you are such a, like you want to encourage women everywhere to have that freedom, to be, you know, not feel like the pressures of having to look and act and behave in certain ways, but like have the freedom to just like break free and like feel what's in yourself, what's there, what's authentic. So I have a lot of trust in these 2 weeks that things will just kind of unfold. And like we've been talking about having it not so structured, but like giving space for the rhythms and the women that show up. And yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
No doubt, like, yeah, as you've mentioned a few times, I feel the forest will really be what holds us. Yeah. For me, she's a huge image of this raw, sacred energy that we're kind of talking about, of being more genuine, of being less manicured, like that perfect lawn with the perfect trees. And we're talking about, you know, hundreds of kilometers of it in all directions. So no doubt her energy will just be...
It's like, I can't even imagine, but...
Yeah, she's going to beckon us home.
I want to go. Yeah, like that's another thing is like, I think generally we don't realize how much we're affected by the atmosphere around us. And I mean, people that are more sensitive, that are opening up more to their bodies, they can really feel it. Entering a city is difficult, and as soon as you get into the wild nature, it's like a breath of fresh air, and you can just like, and it just affects you on a deep level. So
yeah, I've been contemplating this more lately about how, as a child, I was often taught that the things that we need to live are fresh air, fresh water, clean food. And I'm starting to now, in my spiritual practice with the earth and with nature, starting to realize that it goes a step further than that, in that the earth is not just providing us air, water, food. The earth is also providing us this sacred energy that we actually also need to survive, possibly even more than all of these other things. They're secondary to the first part, which is she's our mother, she's our home, she's holding us. Yeah.
That's really nice. Yeah, this is something I've been opening up to more over the years, because I didn't feel that connection so much for many years. Like, I wasn't an earthy person exactly. Like, my earth chakra teachers and healers would always tell me, oh, I need some help, you know? So I've been intentionally, like, for years now, working on that root chakra, and that's just beginning to open for me more, is like recognizing the earth as mother that's holding me. Like, that was something that just didn't make sense for like many years. And now I'm doing more like earthing, walking barefoot, and rooting constantly with like a grounding cord in the center of the earth. And I'm beginning to feel those doors open a little bit, of like the earth as this like holding, nurturing mother, you know.
So just that there's a certain calling from who knows where that the world needs right now, or a certain select group of people need. And what I'm really hoping, or my personal intention in this, is that some sort of transmission can happen for the women who attend this group, who then can go out into the world as divine embodied beings, ready to shine this light and share it, so it can just be a wave across the world.
Yes.
Yeah.